In today's episode, we're driving through Gatlinburg, Tennessee on our way to the 11-mile loop of Cade's Cove, one of the most visited valleys in the Smoky Mountains National Park. We'll see rivers, waterfalls, old homesteads, rolling fields with the Smoky Mountains as a backdrop. So come along and ride with us and let's see what all the buzz is about. Welcome to Have Fun, Let's Travel, where we love making memories, preserving history, and helping others. I'm Jeremy.
And I'm Brenda. Follow along with us as we travel to see what interesting things we can find. You never know where we'll go or what we'll see next. Thanks for joining us.
Now, you know they say breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Well, everybody told us we had to try out Flapjacks. So we joined in with all the rest of our family that was there with us to check this place out. Now, don't you just love the atmosphere in here? Makes you feel right at home. Now, I don't know what got Brenda all cackly like that. Oh, yeah, I do. Look, it's the orange juice. It'll do it to you every time. Right after I filmed this place filled up. Everybody was wanting a pancake that morning. Now look at there, little man, he's so excited. They're all going to the aquarium today while Brenda and I are going down to Cade's Cove. This ought to be a fun day. Hopefully we can see a bear. We've all heard how good the food is here. Now check this out. Doesn't this look wonderful? Ham, bacon, eggs, sausage, biscuits, gravy, omelets, pancakes. Whew! Oh boy, what'd you think of that?
That was really good, except we ate too much.
I tell you what, I was gonna ask for a wheelchair, but the server, Brittany, she told me, she says, we don't have any wheelbarrows or wheelchairs, so you're just gonna have to get out yourself. Let me tell you what, if you're ever in Gatlinburg, stop by Flapjacks. You will love it. I give it a 10 out of 10.
The service was good and the food was excellent.
What do you give it?
9.5 or 10.
9.5 or 10, well there you go. Come on down, check this place out. Just be prepared to be stuffed. You ready to go see a bear?
Let's go see a bear.
Let's go see a bear. Before we could make it into the Smoky Mountains National Park, we had to drive through Gatlinburg. This time though, we get to see what it looks like during the daytime. Neither Brenda nor I could get over how much traffic there is this early in the morning. Well, that is until we got into Cade's Cove. Then it all made perfect sense. You'll see what I mean here in a few minutes. Now, just like I said on the way in Sunday night, the word of the day is patience. That is something that you have to remember when you're driving through Gatlinburg and Cade's Cove. We've included chapters in the description, so if you would like to move ahead to any point in this video and watch it again, check out those links. But for the first time, be sure to watch it all the way through so you don't miss anything. There's so many beautiful things along the way to see. I just wish the camera could capture it the way we saw it with our own two eyes. Originally a quiet logging town nestled in the heart of the Smoky Mountains, Gatlinburg, Tennessee has long been a popular destination, blending natural beauty with unique attractions that attracted millions of visitors each and every year. The town's history as a tourist hotspot began in the 1930s when the Great Smoky Mountains National Park was established. Since then, Gatlinburg has transformed into a vibrant gateway to the park, welcoming everyone from outdoor adventurers to families looking for memorable experiences. You can explore over 850 miles of hiking trails, spot wildlife like black bears and elk, and take in scenic vistas that change dramatically with each season. Over the years, Gatlinburg has developed some iconic attractions. For a thrilling view of the mountains, the Gatlinburg Skylift takes you up 1,800 feet and offers panoramic views of the landscape, or you can walk across the Sky Bridge, North America's longest pedestrian suspension bridge. Another must visit is the Gatlinburg Space Needle, a 400-foot tall observation tower which offers 360-degree views of the Smoky Mountains. Ripley's Aquarium of the Smokies, one of the top aquariums in the United States, brings marine life to the mountains and features mesmerizing underwater tunnel where sharks and stingrays glide right over your head. Gatlinburg also has a rich history of moonshining, and you can sample moonshine from legal distilleries that are keeping a piece of local heritage alive. There are several seasonal events that are special to the area. These include the Spring Wildwood Pilgrimage, Synchronous Fireflies, and the 4th of July Midnight Parade, just to mention a couple. Gatlinburg is also home of the only ski resort in Tennessee. Ober-Gatlinburg opened in the early 1960s and offers a year-round alpine slide. In the winter, it's the go-to spot for skiing, snowboarding, and snow tubing in the Smokies. Whether you're drawn in by the rich history, the thrill of attractions, or the surrounding mountains, Gatlinburg is packed with experiences that create lasting memories. Here's a very important tip. Be sure not to forget to fill up your gas tank before you enter the park. It's a long way to the next gas station, and you would hate to run out of gas and have to wait for a tow truck like some of the people we saw at the halfway point of the loop. Another thing you need to know before heading into the park or Cade's Cove is to be sure to make plans for the route you are planning to take, due to there is very little or no cell phone coverage in this area. Now, are you as ready to get into the national park as much as we are? Here we go. Coming up on the right is the Great Smoky Mountains National Park sign, so be sure to stop by and take a family photo with the sign here. Well, check this out. We have made it to the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. We've been wanting to come here for a long time. We got our bellies full. We're ready to see some bears. Aren't you?
Yes.
Come on, let's go check this park out and follow along with us, ride along with us, and let's see what we can see. You ready?
Let's go.
Let's go. Before you leave the park entrance sign, be sure to walk down the short 30-yard trail to see the clear waters of the West Prong Little Pigeon River. The Smokies are famous for their clear, cool mountain streams, and the constant flow of water supports rich ecosystems. Fishing is popular here, so be sure to look closely. You just might spot a brook trout, the only native trout species to the Smokies. Now let's head on into the park and see what all this buzz is about. During your drive, you're close to some rivers, creeks, and stunning waterfalls. The Smokies have more than 100 waterfalls and cascades. Laurel Falls and Abrams Falls are just two of the most famous that are worth visiting, but don't forget to check out some of the others. Now, if you're like us and you've always wondered how the Smokies got their name, well, we asked a park ranger. He told us that the smoke or mist that naturally rises from the water and plants is what gives the Smokies their name. He said trees emit volatile organic molecules into the atmosphere which combine to create the well-known smoky haze. That's interesting. Here's another important tip you need to remember. While there's no entry fee to the park, you will need a parking pass if you think you'll be parked anywhere in the park for more than 15 minutes. At the time of our visit, daily passes were only $5 and weekly passes were $15. You can find parking pass vending machines in the Gatlinburg Visitor Center, Sugarlands Visitor Center, and several locations in the park, as well as online. We'll include a link to the website in the description below. We've arrived at the Sugarlands Visitor Center, one of the most popular visitor centers and gateway to the Smoky Mountains National Park. We asked why it was named Sugarland, and the ranger told us it was due to the abundance of sugar maple trees in the area. The visitor center is located just a few miles from Gatlinburg, making it a fantastic starting point to learn more about the park's natural and cultural history before heading on out through the park. During your stop, you'll find a range of amenities including restrooms, a gift shop, maps, and information desk staffed by knowledgeable park rangers. But one of the highlights is the museum inside. This museum is relatively small but rich with detail, with exhibits covering the park's diverse wildlife, plant life, and geology. You'll find displays featuring taxidermy, giving you an up-close look at some of the park's inhabitants. There's also an impressive relief map of the Smokies that helps you visualize the mountainous landscape and many of its trails. For those of you who are eager to hit the trails, the Visitor Center has access to several nearby family-friendly hikes where you can see a beautiful waterfall. So be sure to take the time to stop here for a few minutes before venturing out into the park. I know this video is a long one, but I wanted to show you things exactly as we saw them without leaving anything out. If you're planning your first trip to Cade's Cove, this will show you exactly what you can expect. And while we're driving, here are some interesting facts and details that caught our attention. The Great Smoky Mountains National Park is the most visited national park in the United States, with over 12 million visitors each year. It spans over 500,000 acres across Tennessee and North Carolina, protecting one of the oldest mountain ranges in the world that date back to over 200 million years. The park is home to over 1,500 black bears, giving it one of the highest densities of black bears in the eastern United States. Other wildlife you may see includes wild turkeys, white-tailed deer, and even elk, which were reintroduced to the park in 2001. The park is known for its synchronous fireflies, a unique species of fireflies that light up in sync during their mating season in late May to early June. The Smokies are home to over 1,500 species of flowering plants, which bloom in different seasons throughout the year. The region's forests transition from hardwoods at lower elevations to cone-bearing trees as you go higher up, to create a unique diversity in plant life. Highway 441, also known as Newfound Gap Road, was completed in 1932. This 33-mile route is the only road that crosses the park to connect Tennessee to North Carolina. The elevation gain on this picturesque highway is about 3,300 feet, and the temperature changes from 10 to 15 degrees. Here, on Newfound Gap, President Franklin D. Roosevelt dedicated the park in 1940. The Smokies host over 1,900 documented species, with an estimated 80 to 100,000 additional species possibly yet undiscovered. They have one of the highest salamander diversities in the world, and scientists often call the Smokies the salamander capital of the world. Along your drive, you'll have several opportunities to pull over and enjoy the views of the rivers and creeks, especially during the fall when the fall colors change, creating breathtaking backdrops for photos. Some of these include the West Prong Little Pigeon River, which runs parallel to the road after leaving Gatlinburg. This small river is popular for fishing, especially for trout, and offers stunning views of the surrounding mountains and forest. It originates from the mountains that flows through Gatlinburg, eventually winding its way into the Tennessee River. As you travel through the Sugarlands Visitor Center area, you'll notice Sugarlands Creek. This creek, known for its clear waters and beautiful cascades, provides a habitat for various wildlife, including salamanders and different bird species, making it a great spot for nature enthusiasts. Metcalf Bottoms is where the West Prong Little Pigeon River widens, providing opportunities for picnics and enjoying Mother Nature with its bank dotted with wildflowers in the spring and summer. Ware Valley Creek is a smaller creek that runs through the valley and contributes to the beauty of the region. Once you arrive at Cade's Cove, you'll find the Cade's Cove Creek, which runs through the valley. This creek is a tributary of the West Prong Little Pigeon River and offers excellent opportunities for fishing and wildlife viewing. It's home to many species of fish, and the surrounding area is a great place to spot deer, black bear, and wild turkeys. Also inside Cade's Cove, you'll find Abrams Creek, which was named after a Cherokee chief. This is one of the largest streams in the area, running for about 12 miles. It is surrounded by lush forests and stunning landscapes, adding to the area's natural beauty. This is a popular spot for anglers, particularly for catching trout. Each of these rivers and creeks are not only scenic, they play a vital role in the ecosystem of the Great Smoky Mountains. They provide drinking water for the wildlife and help support the diverse plant life in the region. The waters are generally clean and serves as important habitats for aquatic life, contributing to the overall health of the environment. Now let's sit back for a few minutes and enjoy this beautiful scenery. Welcome to Cade's Cove. Cade's Cove is a great place to learn about the early Appalachian settlers in the Smoky Mountains. This 11-mile one-way loop offers gorgeous views of the surrounding mountains and open meadows, as well as a chance to get an up-close look at old churches, barns, and log cabins that were part of the thriving farming community here in the 1800s. Long before early settlers came, Native American tribes such as the Cherokee hunted in this region. Later, some of their hunting trails were turned into roads, such as the one that we're driving on now. The Cherokee respected the Smokies and referred to them as Chaconage, which translates into place of blue smoke. According to the Cherokee folklore, a race of tiny, supernatural creatures lived in the woodlands and were thought to assist or warn visitors who showed respect for the land. When you see this herd of horses, you know you've made it to Cade's Cove Valley. This is one of Smoky Mountains' most picturesque valleys, so get ready to be amazed by all of its stunning beauty. The first building you'll encounter is the John Oliver Cabin. This building, which dates back to the early 1820s, is the oldest remaining structure inside Cade's Cove and was inhabited by the John Oliver family, who were among the first European pioneers to reside here. Unfortunately, the Oliver family was frequently forced to hide in the mountains to avoid capture during the Civil War, since Cade's Cove became a magnet for Union and Confederate raiders. Take a look at this view. Isn't it breathtaking? Now let's go inside to check out this 2-room cabin. Watch as this man squeezes up the staircase to the upstairs bedroom. Talking about a tight squeeze. I don't think I could make that. It might be just me, but something about this scene reminds me of the show Little House on the Prairie. Does it you? That guy was in a hurry. I don't know if he was a park ranger or not, but I let him go. One thing about this old church that grabbed our attention, look at the rocks that they're using for footers to hold the church up. Don't you just love this canopy of trees over the road? All day long, I felt like I should be seeing people on horseback riding through these fields. The Missionary Baptist Church was established in 1824 and is a central part of the Cove's history. It served as a gathering place for settlers. Visitors can see the nearby cemetery where many of these early settlers are now buried. Now, do you remember earlier when I said the word of the day is patience? Well, get ready. Here's where that word comes into play. Now, isn't this just absolutely beautiful? Wow, look at all those cars through the valley. Built in the 1840s by Elijah Oliver, this house was notable for its distinctive large size, which was very rare for the time. It reflects the growing prosperity of some of the families in Cade's Cove. It looks to me like those people had second thoughts about crossing this bridge. Abrams Falls Trail is a 5-mile round-trip trail that takes you to a 25-foot waterfall which flows over a ledge of sandstone into a deep, picturesque pool. During the spring, this trail is known for its abundance of wildflowers. If needed, you'll find a pit toilet here at the trailhead. I just had a thought pop in my head. Can you imagine what it would be like out here at night? Be able to see all the stars around you? Wouldn't that be incredible? I would love to see that. As we were slowly creeping forward, another thought came into my mind. I bet it would be so much fun to be a kid and run and play through all of these fields. Hiding in the bushes, hiding in the trees, playing hide and seek, wouldn't that be fun? About halfway through the 11-mile loop, you'll come to the Cade's Cove Visitor Center, which is located on the property of the John P. Cable Homestead. This is one of the most visited historic sites in the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. Here's some fascinating facts. The homestead belonged to John and Elizabeth Cable, who were the earliest settlers in Cave Cove. They arrived in the area in the early 1800s and quickly established a prosperous farm on what was then Cherokee land. The Cable homestead was a full working farm, and John Cable was quite innovative. He built a grist mill and a sawmill by harnessing the water from the nearby Mill Creek, allowing him to grind corn and cut lumber for his family and neighbors. Today you can still see the Cable Mill, which is one of the few remaining water-powered mills in the area. The log cabin on the homestead was constructed using local timber. The Cables also had a barn, smokehouse, and corn crib to support their self-sufficient lifestyle, growing crops, raising livestock, and preserving their own food. The National Park Service carefully preserves the homestead to give visitors a glimpse into the 19th century Appalachian life. The buildings are restored but original, providing an authentic view of early pioneer life. The Cable family played a significant role in Cade's Cove community, with their mill serving as a social and economic hub where neighbors gathered to process grain and trade goods. This made the Cable Homestead a central gathering place in the area. The area around the Cable Homestead is especially beautiful, with rolling fields and forests that would have been essential for farming and hunting. At the Visitor Center, rangers and volunteers often demonstrate traditional crafts and skills from blacksmithing to weaving. This gives a hands-on feel to the historical experience and shows how families in Cade's Cove live day to day. I wonder how many delicious meals have been cooked here on this wood stove. Now that we've had a chance to go to the restroom, stretch our legs, and take a look around, let's get back to driving the loop. We hope that you're enjoying riding with us through Cade's Cove today. If so, be sure to hit the like button to let us know. We love hearing from you, and it really helps us feel like we're doing something worthwhile to help others. This place is absolutely gorgeous. There is no way a camera could ever do justice, so you have to see this for yourself. You'll thank me, I promise. This large cabin is another example of a well-built homestead from the late 1800s. The Dan Lawson place features a farmyard with various historic outbuildings, giving a glimpse into the daily life of the mountain farmers. The Tipton cabin was home to a family who lived in Cade's Cove for several generations. Built around 1850, this cabin offers insight into the difficult lives of the early settlers who faced isolation and harsh conditions. Now here's one of those things to make you go, I wonder how long it would take a person to walk from this road all the way over to the base of that mountain. You know, while I was driving down through this loop, there was something about this little road and the forest around me that reminded me of my childhood growing up in North Louisiana. I used to ride a motorcycle all through the woods like this. Well, we didn't have mountains there, of course, but something about this just warms my heart. This is a modest, rustic building that's near the end of the 11-mile loop road in Cade's Cove. This is the Carter Shields cabin. With a split-rail fence, abundant wildlife, and surrounded by dogwood trees, this cabin would make the ideal setting for a beautiful painting. As you're nearing the end of the 11-mile loop, you'll come to a Y in the road. You'll want to stay to the right to continue the loop. If you turn to the left, you'll end up back near the start of the loop. Okay, I can't go any farther without saying this. I know some of you have probably been thinking it to yourself. I wonder how many times somebody has seen something out here that they can't explain what it was. Wonder if there's any Bigfoot out in here. Don't call me crazy. I know I'm not the only one thinking this. Before we leave Cade's Cove, let's take a look at the campground area. Here you'll find a store, restrooms, amphitheater, and bicycle rentals. This is a beautiful campground as it blends the rustic charm of camping with modern amenities like drinking water and flushing restrooms. The campground is open year-round, but from December through mid-April, you will need reservations. During these months, generators are allowed, but only during limited hours. Here are a few very important things that you should know. Cade's Cove Campground is a primitive campground, but it does offer drinking water and restrooms. The store does have a few supplies, but we highly recommend you stop by a larger grocery store to gather all the supplies you will need for your stay before you leave Pigeon Forge or Gatlinburg and head down the 30 mile or so of winding mountain roads. Another thing, keep in mind that there is no cell phone coverage in the area, and Starlink internet does not get much coverage due to all the trees. Now here's something funny I just noticed. See this leaf right here on our windshield wiper? It's been here this entire trip. We entered Cade's Cove this morning at just after 10 a.m. and the time now is just after 1 p.m. As you saw, traffic wasn't too bad today, and it still took us over 3 hours to do the entire loop. So plan on spending a full day on the property and give yourself time to take in all the beautiful scenery and enjoy Mother Nature. We hope you've enjoyed riding along with us on our trip through the Great Smoky Mountains National Park and Caves Cove. Next time you're in the area, be sure to drive the loop yourself. You never know what you may see. Now, even though we kept our eyes peeled, we didn't see a bear. Oh well, I guess we'll just have to come back another day. Be sure to check out some of our other videos shown here. Until next time, remember, stay safe and have fun, let's travel.